everyone, welcome back. So today we're finally going to cut our hay field, and hopefully by the time this is all over in the next few days we'll have our own bales that we made. So this hay field is mostly grass and alfalfa mix. It's actually really heavy alfalfa, and we got our first blooms last weekend. And alfalfa, at least my alfalfa, has these little purple blooms that form on the alfalfa, and that's, from what I understand, it's about the right time to cut for hay, is right when it starts to get its blooms. So that's what we're going to try to do today. I just got done greasing the sickle bar mower back up, gassed the tractor up. I think I'm ready to go. So I think I've decided to start off in I think third gear low. Should be about 4 miles an hour to cut with the sickle bar mower. I'm still not sure how fast I can go with this thing. So I think that some of my problem even last time may have been that I was trying to go too slow with it. So if anybody has some experience with this sickle bar mower, or with a sickle bar mower like this, what speed did you guys actually cut the grass or cut alfalfa with? I'd be interested. So I'm just going to probably play around with it a little bit today and see which speeds seem to work and which speeds seem to be maybe too fast. Maybe I can play around and figure it out. But so to start out, I'm going to go backwards around the edge, probably 2 paths, and cut along the edge, and then I'm going to turn around, and then I'm going to start cutting inward, you know, onto the you know, to the center of the field, and see if I can get all this hay to lay down today. We should have several days to let it dry before we bale it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste any time. I actually took a half day off of work today so I could get this hay cut. So let's go ahead and get going. So I just got done with my first pass around the hayfield. I went right along the edges of where the trees are, and my biggest problem was branches and sticks. See, I should have walked it first, and there were several just branches in the way that I had to stop and pick up. And then there's other ones, if you couldn't see them, or if you didn't, you know, see them in time, they might hit the sickle bar mower, get caught in it, and keep it from cutting hay. And so that was a big problem, because I had to stop the tractor several times as I went around to pick up sticks, and the other problem was judging the length. I got back in the back corner over there. I actually started to kind of get off of the field, not into the trees, but there was kind of a brushy area where it's all mostly blackberries, and so I had to end up kind of backing out of there and restarting all over. So it's kind of a little bit hard to judge, you know, where the sickle bar is going to be when you don't have your first path to go by. So once you turn it around and you have your cut path, you'll keep it along this wheel, this rear wheel here. It'll be a lot easier. But that first path, a little bit hard to judge. But so as I was cutting it and I had to get out several times, I noticed that the hay is still wet. It rained last night and it still is wet. So I don't know if I should be cutting it with it wet. And then everything's starting to darken up out here. And so I got out the phone and looked, and we have a shower popping up. Very disappointing. Had a 35% chance of rain today, this afternoon, and looks like we're gonna get a little bit of rain. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop. I'm not gonna cut any more hay. I'm gonna wait and see what this storm does, and I may just have to come back in the morning and start all over again. So it's now 1 week later from when I tried to cut this hayfield the first time. And that day it just started sprinkling, then it started raining, then it started pouring. And there was the window of opportunity to cut hay just ended up getting cut way down. So I wasn't able to get it done. So tonight I just got off work and I've got about 3 hours before dark. So I'm hoping I can get this whole 3 acres here cut in the next 3 hours. And I've got plenty of good weather in the forecast. I've got like 6 or 7 days without rain, so I have plenty of time to be able to get it done this time. And the sickle bar mower, I thought it was a 7-foot sickle bar mower, and it turns out it's a 9-foot sickle bar mower. It's bigger than I thought it was, and hopefully that'll speed some things up too. So yeah, hopefully we'll get this all cut before it gets dark. So let's go ahead and get started. So I just got done with the 4th pass around the field, and it is not going very well. I've taken about an hour to do 4 passes. It keeps clogging up on me, keeps on getting grass laying on it. So I've tried several different things, from speed and just the way I'm driving and everything. But the biggest improvement I had is my blade was kind of pointing up, and I've leveled that out, and that seems to help quite a bit. But I definitely can't go too fast in this thick of stuff. So the best I'm actually doing is like in first gear, and I can actually get it to cut without clogging up very often. But yeah, it's very frustrating and very slow. So hopefully I can get this done. I've got a little bit of daylight left. I'm just gonna keep at it. I don't think there's any use in really trying to like take the machine apart and try to tweak a bunch of stuff. I just want to see if I can get this done so I can get it baled. Then maybe next time we'll try a few other adjustments. I may think about cutting a little bit lower. I feel like I'm cutting maybe too high, that it's actually bending the grass over. And if I was cutting lower, it would have less of a chance of maybe pushing that grass over. I don't know. Like I said, I've never ran a sickle bar mower before, and I'm sure that there's a lot of ins and outs that I need to learn, but see if I can get this done. So I did end up getting the hay cut last night, and the longer I did it, the better it went. So some of the things I did to help kind of get the sickle bar to work better, one was just getting it level, adjusting it so that the teeth were level with the ground. And then the sweep on the very end, it was like angled in about 45 degrees, and then the hay would fall on that and it would bunch up, and it would just build up so much that it would finally clog the mower. And I finally got that sweep bent out, so it was more like about a 10-degree bend, somewhere in there. And that really helped on getting clogged up on the outside edge of the sickle bar. And then I think a lot of it was just me learning how to do this. This was really thick, very thick alfalfa. And every time it would clog, I don't think I would get it completely unclogged. So I think there was a little bit of a learning process of how to, I finally got to the point where I could like back it up and unclog it without having to get off the machine. And then the trick was getting it started without clogging it up immediately. So in reality, what I was doing is that once I'd get it unclogged, I'd kind of come up to where I was supposed to be, and I would kind of, as I lowered it, I would back up so that it wasn't leaning the grass over when I dropped the sickle bar down. And then I would go ahead and go forward and start cutting, and it seemed to work a lot better where I would start off and not clog the machine up. So I think that's what most of my problem was, is I would try to unclog it and it just was not, I wasn't getting it perfectly, unclogged, or when I started out, I had the grass leaning over so much that it just didn't want to cut, and then it was wanting to clog up. So it was just kind of a learning curve, I think, of just how to use the sickle bar mower. So as you look at the field behind me, you will see that especially probably the outer 6 paths or so, there is a lot of grass that is uncut. So it's a very shaggy looking field. I didn't do a very good job of cutting it, but I think there's plenty of alfalfa on the ground that would make a lot of bales. Now that this hay is down, the next thing to do would be, get it to dry, rake it, and bale it. But today I ran into a little bit of a problem. I went and got 1,900 pounds of pig feed. And then when I got back, I tried cleaning out the barn so that I have somewhere for this hay to go. And while I was cleaning out the barn, I ended up, I was moving like a stack of wood. Rebecca was helping me. Luckily she was there, but I ended up stepping on some fence posts that were on the ground, and they rolled out from underneath me, and I fell backwards with my back onto the fence posts. And needless to say, it is Rebecca had to drive me out here so I could finish this video, because I really can't hardly walk right now, and it hurts just to stand here. I'll be really honest with you. I've got a real sharp pain on my, I think I landed somewhere between my ribs and my left hip. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish the hayfield, just because I really can't lift or move right now. So we did go to the emergency room to make sure that I didn't have anything out of place in my back, and to see if I didn't crack anything, and luckily nothing is broken. I obviously really hurt some muscles in here in my back, and so we're just going to have to wait and see whether this goes any farther than this. But I'm going to have to do something with it. I can't just leave this hay on the ground, or else it'll probably, shade out everything, and it'll kill the whole field. So I'm going to have to do something with it. But right now, I am just miserable today. So hopefully I have a quick recovery where, I'll be able to bale the field. We're just going to have to wait and see. But very frustrating cutting this field at first, but after probably about halfway through the field, I finally kind of got the hang of it, and it was going a lot better. It's too bad that I made the dumb move of stepping on those fence posts today and taking a big fall. I had a thing of wood in my hand when I did it, so I probably had about 50 pounds in my hands when I went backwards and fell onto the post on my back. Yeah, very, very bad experience, dumb move. Yeah, it's really disappointing, because I want to be able to get this hay in, and now I'm not sure whether I'm going to be in the condition to finish this, in all honesty. So I'm trying to think of what my options are. I'm hoping that I will at least get to the point where I'm feeling well enough that I can drive the tractor and try to get the hay tedded, and raked in it and maybe even baled, and then just see if I can get somebody to come and pick the bales up if I'm not up for it. But we'll just wait and see. I'm hoping for a fast recovery. So I mean, I can't hardly lift anything right now, so I don't see me lifting hay bales, but hopefully if I recover quick enough, we'll get this done. We'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. The hayfield is cut, but it's too bad that I got myself hurt today, so I don't know what the status of this field is going to end up at in the end. So anyway, keep me in mind. Hopefully we'll get this done. So thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.